Hey friend, if this episode resonates with you and you're looking to take your launches to the next level, find the strategies that work for you, put the systems and automations in place to save time and decrease stress, be sure to check out my 6 week to sold out launch intensive. We are going to spend 6 weeks putting together your launch strategy and plan for one offer that will allow you to not only hit your goals now, but have a system that you can put on repeat for the future. The most important part, that it's something that feels good for you and allows you to sell your offer with ease while also being present in your life. Check out the details in the show notes. I have the info linked, and you can always send me a message at I am Tara Leeson on Instagram to chat. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we are going to talk about systems and automations for your launch, or you can just apply this for an offer that you have that you want to promote. It kind of works either way. I really focusing this on launching systems and automations so that you aren't stressed out during your launch and spending a ton of time in the back end of your business because you really don't need to be. Launching does not need to be this time when you are, telling everybody that you're going to be busy for X amount of weeks or this amount of time because you feel like you have so many things to do. We can set this up in a way so that it actually feels quote unquote easier. I was going to say just easy, but easier. Okay. But it is through having proper systems and automations to actually support you in your business so that things can still be running on the back end while you are also out there living your life. So we're going to talk about that today. The first thing, landing page. This is for your lead magnet. You want to have a landing page. Now, I think most people are starting to do this, but I know that some people still do send out direct links to their freebies. Like wherever you're storing it, you're just sending the link when someone, requests it or whatever. At any point in time, whether it's a launch or not, don't do this. You're losing leads and you're losing the opportunity to have that email, build your email list, and actually be able to follow up, I guess, easier with these people because when you can add them to your email list and when you put this in this process, the way that it works is once they're added to your email list, they're also tagged with the name of the freebie. That's how I usually like to do it. So then it's just super easy to identify what they actually opted in for. And I'll go over that in a minute, but it's really easy to identify that. And then it's also easy to follow up. Instead of just sending out links to people and then forgetting who you even sent them to. We don't want to be doing that. We really want to be making it easier for you. So making sure you have the landing page set up. Now, your landing pages don't need to be a million miles long. That is not the purpose of a landing page. Okay. It's not to actually sell them into the lead magnet. It is really just there so that they can opt in for your freebie. Generally, once someone clicks to go to your landing page, they usually know that they want to opt in. I mean, there still are conversion rates. There's still people who are going to go check it out and they will not. But generally, when people go to your landing page, they go there for the purpose of opting in. It's not like a sales page where, it's longer and you really want to explain the offer and give them all the details and create that emotional connection and all of the things. The landing page can be much more brief and just tell exactly what it is in the freebie, or if it's, a challenge at a certain time or a masterclass at a certain time, date, time, details. That's it. Place for them to opt in. You're done. Very simple. Usually, landing pages, you create them in either your email provider, or if you have an all-in-one website, you would do it on there. So those are kind of the options for where you're going to make them. Then, once the landing page is created, you're going to have the email sequence that is going to send automatically right after they opt in. So there's no more of this, they opt in for this, and then you're the one actually manually sending out emails. No more. Okay, you're going to create an automation that as soon as they opt in, the first email goes, sends them the freebie. That is done. Then after that, you can continue sending emails. The way that I like to do it is usually have usually about 3 that include the freebie in them. This isn't 3 with only the freebie, but these first 3 do include it. So the first one, specifically, just the freebie. Just focus on that. That's what they signed up for. That's what they want. So you're giving them that. The second one, what I like to do is pull in some point from the freebie that you really want to focus on or you want them to pay attention to. So something that you want to point out that's really important that they will get value from, or is something that will be just really important for them to notice. Put that into the email. Again, link in the freebie. And because this is during a launch or selling your offer, start selling the offer in this second email. So you're going to start promoting the offer. And, the way that you can do this is just by leading in from whatever you've pointed out in the freebie, however that relates into your offer. If you want to go further in this related to that point, here is the next step. Here's how we do this by working with me in X offer, right? So the third one, you are like full out, you're selling the offer. We are like going at her. This is what it is. This is your next step. Here's what I want to do, right? So sell the offer. I always like to do a little like PS at the end in case they haven't had a chance to watch the freebie, to look at it, whatever. Add it again. People are busy, they miss stuff, all of the things. And it's just another reminder, maybe if they take another look at it, it might be something that they're like, yeah, this is actually for me. So I always like to add it in again. Then the fourth and the fifth, I do at least 5. You're just selling the offer. So positioning it different ways, you can sell it through, your story of how you, I guess, came up with this, or how you went through this yourself and got yourself from some point to where you are now, and what the offer has to do with that, like how you are bringing people through that, and testimonials, all of those kind of things. But I usually like to do at least 5, spread them out over, multiple days, have at least 2 to 3 days in between. Don't just be like back to back. Leave a little time, and that will be your email sequence. Now, they will also be added to your regular email. So even if they don't buy right at that time, they're going to be added to your regular sequence where you can also be promoting your offer. So there's, you get the benefit of both things. It's not like if they don't buy this time, all is lost. you still get them added into your regular sequence where you're still able to sell and nurture and do all of the things. Now, the third one is sales page. Absolutely have a sales page. This is huge and it's going to save you so much time. I know some people find it's a pain in the ass, writing out all the copy, doing all the things. But if you're doing content to promote your offer anyways, what you're putting on your sales page isn't really much different because you want to say the same things on your sales page as you are in your content talking about your offer. It's not going to be so drastically different. That wouldn't make any sense. Like it wouldn't connect if all of a sudden someone is, seeing your content and they are really resonating with it. And then they go to your sales page and it's like wildly different. That wouldn't make sense, right? So you really want to connect them and you can use say like the same pieces from your content on your sales page. It doesn't have to be so different. And I think a really good reminder for this, because people get stuck in the mindset of, what if someone notices that I'm saying the same thing, or I've posted the same thing, or it's like the same on my content as my sales page, or the same on, my content as my email or whatever. No one pays that much attention. Normally, no one pays that much attention. And a lot of the times, people need to see things multiple times. So it's really not, it's not going to make a big difference. No one is going to care. And if they do care, they probably if they care and they don't like it, are they really someone you want to work with? I don't know. So don't like, don't get in your head about these things because it's not going to make a difference. With your sales page, make sure it is linked in your emails. Always link it in your emails when you're talking about your offer. Also, link it in your bio, link it on all of your social media when you are talking on your stories. Same thing with your lead magnet. For both of these, make sure you add the link when you are talking about it in your stories. This is like one of my biggest pet peeves is when people will talk on stories and then they're like, DM me for the link for their landing page or their sales page. No, just put the link right on there. Unless your links aren't working, put the link on there because I can guarantee you, you are going to be losing leads for your landing page, potential sales for people that aren't going to your sales page. Because if there are new people that are coming to your page and they're watching your stories and they're seeing this, they probably don't want to DM you right off the bat. Some people might. Most people don't feel comfortable doing that. But many people will go to the link because you can't tell who's clicked on your link. You can see that people have clicked, but you don't know who. So it's much easier for people to do that than it is to DM you for these links. So when you have it linked in there, they can go check it out. And if you get them that step closer where they are checking it out, it's just one step closer. So you really want to make sure that you are doing that. And it's one of those things where, I've seen it before too, where people just have it in their bio and they're wondering why no one's going to their landing page, no one's going to their sales page. No one knows it's in your bio. Like, no one, there aren't very many people that are going and really scoping out your bio. right? They aren't looking through all of your links all the time. You have to let people know where these things are for them to get into the system. Otherwise, it's not, you have systems there, but it's not necessarily going to work the way that you want it to. It's really letting people know where they are and how to access them and get into them so then they can work for you. Now, the last one for this part is automated onboarding. So when someone checks out from the sales page, automated onboarding is one email that is going to send them all of the links that they need, everything that they need. If you have calls that they need to book within your offer, the link's going to be in there. Onboarding forms, whatever it is that they need to get started is going to be in this email. And it is going to be automated, so you are not sending it. No more sending all of this out one at a time manually. Just one email goes as soon as they check out. The other thing about this, really consider this, is, once you have a sales page, if people can check out at any time once you have a sales page. So if they're checking out on the weekend, if they're checking out at night, if they're checking out like whatever time, and you aren't around to send these things, if you don't have automated onboarding set up, you're leaving them hanging and they're kind of wondering, like, okay, so what's next? Like, did I sign up? Like, what's kind of going on here? You really want to have this in place so that you're not leaving anyone hanging. It just gets it all done. They can get started. The process is smooth, streamlined. It's all done. So, really important thing to think about. The other thing that you can do is use Zapier, if you've ever heard of that. And what it does is it is like, you can think of it as like a bridge or a connector between programs. So I really like to use it, or I did use it when I had my fitness business, and people would check out and, I had a fitness membership. So people would buy the membership and they would get onboarding. They would also be automatically sent into my training app. This would all be done. I wouldn't have to do any of it manually. And Zapier creates these connections for you so that this can happen and you aren't having to do all of these manual steps. And this is super important to think about, especially when you are in a launch and you may have more people coming in at one time. You don't want to be thinking about, all of this stuff that you have to do while you're promoting your offer, while you're trying to like work with new people and really like get this offer out there and you're spreading your energy everywhere. That creates the stress and the burnout from launches, is having to do all of this stuff. And then it spills over into your everyday life because it feels like you are just never off. You're always having to try to catch up with all of this stuff. But once, these automations are in place, it just runs. What you need to focus on then is selling your offer, talking about it a couple times, on stories or whatever your plan is to do that. It isn't this thing where you need to figure out how you're going to get all of these emails sent out, how you're going to get all the links sent out, how you're going to follow up with all of these people. All of it's done. It's just, it creates so much more time in your day and so much less stress. Now, the other thing from a content perspective, in terms of systems, I do really like using Asana to organize content. I think that it makes it a lot easier for launches. What I usually do, and with clients, what I do is we will create like a launch board where it houses all of the launch specific content. So we will have content that is in there for the launch. And it may not even be, because I don't really subscribe to the whole like you have to do specific posts that are in a certain way for your launch, like 3 days talking about pain points and whatever, that whole thing. But it's just blocking it in a different area so that when we think about putting this on repeat, we're really easily able to go back and see, okay, these are the posts that I did for this launch. What went really well? What resonated really well with people? What didn't work so well? What do I need to refine? And you're able to look at these things so much easier that way. It also allows you to plan ahead and just have that plan in place a lot easier than if, you're just trying to wing it day by day, see what happens, and, you know, post whatever. If you have this all laid out, even if you just have the topics laid out, it just makes things a lot easier and less stressful. The way that I usually do it is I will do, topics first, go back in, write more of the post. Then either I will schedule it with later after I have made the graphic. I really like later as a scheduler. Um, or I will just copy and paste right into Instagram on the day of. If it's a reel, sometimes I will do that. If it's saved on my phone and I don't have it on my computer to schedule it in later, then I just do that. But it's all there, it's all done, and it makes it so much easier instead of stressing about like, what am I going to say today? I already know it's done. So that's really systems and automations that you can think about for your launch and for your offer. Hopefully that was helpful. I feel like that was a lot of different things to kind of think about. You can let me know what your biggest takeaways were. If you have any questions after that, of course, just message me on Instagram at I am Tara Leeson, and I would be happy to answer any questions that you have. So that is it for today. If you are on YouTube, I would love it if you would like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for listening, friend. I appreciate you being here and sharing in our experiences as we go behind the scenes in online business. I would love for you to hit that 5 stars, share with a friend that might enjoy it too, and leave a review telling me your favorite part of the show or this episode. Until next time, go be successful, do the hard things, and stay away from the BS.